Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a great program today. I've entitled it, Your 2 Most Valuable Assets. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me for these next few minutes. Let's get started with today's show. So I've entitled this, Your 2 Most Valuable Assets. In an article in the Wall Street Journal, hotelier Ben Wiepren said, "The best advice I've ever received came from Sam Zell, who told me the most important thing is Baal Shem Tov, which means your name and your integrity. Make all your decisions based upon protecting those." Have to admit, I'm an avid reader, and I love the Wall Street Journal for the front page and the weekend edition, listing of all the amazing homes for sale. In the Life section, they feature celebrities and a listing of about 20 questions. And one of the questions, the idea of business advice, was posted. And I thought the response was right on target. It would be a really good discussion with you, my listeners, since this is something I think we all talk about. And since the concept is in line with my personal values and missions, I thought it would be a good theme for the week. Without a doubt, the truth of the statement is that your 2 most valuable assets really are your name and your integrity. Friends, that is life-altering. So I want you to remember to make all your decisions upon protecting those 2 values. Amy Reese Anderson has a quote that I've posted before, but I love it, and it's found in Forbes magazine. And she says this, "If I could teach only one value to live by, it would be this. Success will come and go, but integrity is forever." Integrity means doing the right thing at all times and in all circumstances, whether or not anyone is watching. It takes having the courage to do the right thing, no matter what the consequences will be. Building a reputation of integrity takes years, but it takes only a second to lose. So never allow yourself to ever do anything that would damage your integrity. Frankly, I certainly couldn't say it better myself. According to the dictionary, integrity is a noun, and the definition is this: adherence to a moral or ethical principle, soundness of moral character, honesty, the state of being whole, entire, or undiminished, a sound or perfect condition. And I have to say, I love the definition from Wikipedia. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. It is generally a personal choice to uphold oneself to consistent moral and ethical standards. I know I've written before about the value of your name, and without a doubt, you know how important it is to protect your reputation. But I wonder how much time you've given to the idea of protecting your integrity, your adherence to moral and ethical principles, your soundness of moral character, and most importantly, your honesty. And I'll add, your personal decision to uphold your personal standard to meet your personal code of conduct. Without a doubt, in today's world, it appears that the character trait of integrity is heading to extinction and might be lost by this generation or the next. I mean, what would happen in our personal life if we made all our decisions based on the idea that everything we say, everything we do, everything we commit to, we would accomplish? Really think about the idea that we would uphold our words, our deeds, and our actions to our standard of excellence. No excuses, no justification, and no little white lies. You know, when I think about that, all I can say is, wow, wouldn't that be something? It's almost too big to comprehend, for most of us, but it is not something we've seen much of. Occasionally, we're pleasantly surprised and grateful. For the most part, when people keep their word, their promise, or their commitment to do something, it's unusual. Imagine if you became that person or dusted off the old you and went back to doing the things you know are right, true, honest, and faithful. I can imagine after your friends and family picked themselves up off the floor because you kept your word and you did what you said you would do and completed the action in a reasonable amount of time. They would be astonished at your level of personal integrity. And then a few things undoubtedly would happen. I suspect their sense of trust with you would be enhanced. I'm guessing they would hold a deeper respect for you. And I'm pretty sure that you would be the beneficiary of knowing that you were living an authentic life. From my informal questions and answers with clients, when I ask, hey, what trait do you look for in others? Inevitably, they always say, hey, Deb, I'm always looking for someone I can trust. There's no doubt that trust is a treasured gift that many hope for or cling to when going through hard times. To be able to trust someone and to know they have your back, that they will keep your promise or your secret, or that they will simply be with you, is a precious gift that so many seek and so few find. Building your trust quotient with others will pay a lifetime of dividends for all involved. Hey, listen, you never know when you are going to need someone you can trust. I want to take it a step further and remind you that trust is breakable. So remember this quote from Bob Vancor, who says, "Trust is built when someone is vulnerable and not taken advantage of." That's not the way of the world. But you also know that if you're a person of integrity, protecting the vulnerable without seeking personal gain, wow, that is a trustworthiness in action. It isn't hard to accept the fact that when integrity is paramount in your life, by your words, your deeds, and actions, you will be held in high regard with great respect and admiration. A person of integrity just seems to be one of those things that is so rare, and when found, it is admired and talked about. That goes to my thought about the value of your name and reputation. I'm sure you're familiar with the famous line by Warren Buffett. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Sometimes, as a media coach, I'm brought in to work with politicians and executives who teeter on the edge of wrecking their career due to their anger or ignorance. And all I can lightly remind them of when they cool down is this simple thought. Don't ruin a lifetime of work by an emotional action that will have repercussions that even a master spinmeister like me cannot fix. Instead, fight to be a person who values your name and who will not allow the equity of a lifetime of service or success be damaged by your actions or words due to some outside force that is gunning to wreck your reputation for revenge. So many times I want to yell, "Think, people, think!" before you jump into the puddle of stupidity. But come to find out, yelling is frowned upon in business. Listen, once you lose your good name, for many of us, it is lost for years, and in some cases, a lifetime. You'll spend the rest of your days rebuilding what you could have left standing had you slowed down and considered the cost of your actions and the value of your name. Friend, if you mess this up, consider how hard it will be for others to maintain any sense of respect for you. You let go of the one trait that you have worked so hard to live up to because it is the right thing to do for your family and your friends and your work and your reputation. If you mess it up, it is hard to get back. Consider how you will feel when you know you're not living your authentic life because you let a little rain ruin your parade instead of waiting for the sunshine of success to fill your sky. Please hear me as your friend and coach. I want others to hold a deep sense of respect for you. I can think of no other honor or benefit to be awarded to you because you've earned it by your faithful actions and your integrity, the two most valuable assets you have in this life. So, to make that wish come true, consider the work you have to do based on the idea of Shem Tov, which means your name and your integrity. And then make all your decisions upon protecting those two traits, the foundation of your personal choices and your commitment to uphold a consistent, moral, and ethical standard. Why? Because, friend, what else is there in the world than being who you really are? And that simply comes down to your two most valuable assets, which are simply your name and your integrity. All right, friends, you've been listening to Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. I hope you join me next week so we can continue this journey together as we work towards a better day. And I really wanted to share today's message with you because, I don't care what the world says about you. I want you to know that I care about you. And I care about you because I believe you can do big things. But friend, that is only going to happen when you maintain your integrity. Your integrity, because everything that you do and say will be based upon that. So your name and your integrity have value. And here's the promise I make. We will walk alongside together as you follow that dream to success, simply because you are who you are and you have made a stand for what is right and good. Others see it and want to be a part. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Take care. See me next week.